Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, new body cam footage sheds light on what happened the night 2 Bristol officers were killed in the line of duty.
Able to get the single shot off with a handgun at that distance is just amazing.
We're breaking down the timeline of the tragedy.
Plus, we're learning more about the man who pulled the trigger on the fallen officers.
He always just kind of seemed like that classic, high school bully.
Tonight, we're hearing from a person who went to high school with the suspect.
And funeral preparations are underway for officers Hamzy and DeMonte.
We expect somewhere between 25 and perhaps as many as 50,000 people.
How the state is remembering and honoring their lives. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts right now.
All right, good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. We want to start our show with a first check of your forecast.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank starting us off. Hi, Rach.
Hi, showers and thunderstorms off to the west of us, so the radar could get quite busy as we head through the evening tonight. And right now, most of the state is not only dry, but some of you are even seeing a couple breaks in the clouds and some sunshine to finish what has been mostly a cloudy and damp day. We're already seeing some rain right now in the northwest hills. This is falling in Salisbury and Canaan and just kind of grazing northwestern Litchfield County right now. But more of this line will be moving through as we head into the evening tonight. We're even seeing a stronger downpour and thunderstorm heading towards New Milford. This actually has the ability to produce some pea-sized hail and winds of about 30 miles per hour. So showers becoming more numerous as this line approaches tonight from about now through about midnight. There even could be a sneaky strong storm with some gusty winds as well, although that would be more isolated in nature. Not every town would see that. There's no Storm Prediction Center outlook associated with our area as we head through the evening tonight. So you could get a locally heavy downpour, a good gust of wind. This is 11:30 at night, noticing that activity is starting to move out, and then maybe just a couple lingering lighter showers as we head towards daybreak. But by that point, the worst is over. Eventually, we'll see low temperatures in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Early clouds break for sunshine, and it's a cooler stretch of days ahead. We even have some frost chances this week. We'll talk about it coming up. Okay, Rachel, thank you very much. Well, we have learned more details about last week's shooting that left 2 Bristol police officers dead and injured another officer. State police said in a release that the 911 call about a dispute between 2 siblings appears to have been a, quote, deliberate act to lure law enforcement to a home. They say the suspect shot well over 80 rounds attacking the officers. The Office of Inspector General says that evidence collected so far shows that Officer Iorado's use of deadly force was justified.
We have live team coverage as we continue to follow those new developments. Our Matt Karen spoke with a man who went to high school with the suspect, but we begin with Fox 61's Tony Terzi for a closer look at that new body cam video. Tony?
Yeah, the shooting by Officer Alec Iorado ruled by the Office of the Inspector General to be justified. The killing of 35-year-old Nicholas Brutcher. He shot over my left shoulder. You see this telephone pole here. From that general vicinity, an estimated 75 feet or so across the yard, beyond those bushes, and into the driveway where the suspect was standing. The Office of the Inspector General says the 3 Bristol cops responded to a 911 call the IG believes was made by shooting suspect Nicholas Brutcher, who allegedly ambushed the cops from behind. But one managed to get away.
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone.
That's Bristol officer Alec Iorado, who sustained a gunshot wound to the leg, but escaped to the neighbor's yard.
In those kind of situations, the officers usually have a tendency to overmodulate and not be understood on the radio. He gains his composure.
Officer shot, officer shot.
Inspector General Robert Devlin surveyed the neighbor's yard on Friday, including the tree Iorado was behind, until he was ready to make his move into position behind one of the Bristol cruisers.
How this kid, was able to control his breathing, how, I'm sure his hand must have wanted to shake. Our hands all shake when we're in these things.
Those in law enforcement said based on the high-powered rifle the suspect likely used, Iorado knew he'd likely get only one shot.
probably a 223 or some caliber like that he's firing upon them with. And, your body armor doesn't stop that. It'll go through the vehicles. It'll do anything.
And Iorato didn't miss. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner says Brutcher's cause of death was a gunshot wound to the neck with spinal cord injury.
This kid is nothing short of a hero. I mean, he's tactically sound throughout this whole thing, which is so impressive.
Now, the suspect's brother, Nate Brutcher, you'll recall from past reports, was also shot during this ambush. Still unclear what his condition is or if he has been able to speak with police yet. We're live here in Bristol. I'm Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.
All right, Tony, thank you. As we continue to try and unpack the unthinkable tragedy in Bristol, we're now uncovering some new information about the killer, Nick Brutcher.
Fox 61's Matt Caron spoke exclusively to one of his high school classmates. He has more for us.
Well, behind me is the Bristol Central High School football field. It's the home of the Rams. It is also the place where Nick Brutcher played varsity football during the 04 and 05 school years, on the same team as Aaron Hernandez and Alex Ring, all three of them murderers. Fox 61 went to the Bristol Public Library, where a story jumped off the pages of the 04-05 Bristol Central High School yearbook.
He always just kind of seemed like that classic, high school bully.
Nick Brutcher, Aaron Hernandez, and Alex Ring, all standing next to each other. They all played on the same football team, but they also have something else in common. They're all murderers.
There's a big leap between, high school bully and, murderer.
One of Brutcher's high school classmates wanted to remain anonymous, spoke exclusively to Fox 61.
You could just see from Nick back then that he was like a bully, or at least wanted to be, wanted to come off as like a, tough guy.
Alex Ring, pictured here as the class blusher, killed his wife in 2014 in their Bristol home before turning the gun on himself. NFL superstar Aaron Hernandez was convicted in the murder of Odin Lloyd before taking his own life, serving out a life sentence in prison. The high-profile murder raising questions about the brain damage he suffered as a result of his football life.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do some sort of study on Nick's brain, but I don't know if I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to at least see, what type of, brain injuries, if anything, he has, and you just don't know how that alters someone's, personality and actions going forward. It's really sad.
Brutcher, who killed 2 Bristol police officers with a high-powered rifle in an ambush-style attack, worked here at New England Liner Solutions in Southington. Himself a father of 2 young girls. Seen in this social media video, getting them Happy Meals at a McDonald's drive-thru, mocking the gender-neutral movement.
Do you want a boy toy or a girl toy? I'm caught. Cancel McDonald's.
Many of Brutcher's Facebook pictures show him holding guns, including this picture from his own wedding. And according to court filings, Brutcher was divorced and falling into debt, ordered to have his wages garnished and to pay back creditors. Back here on the football field, Nick Brutcher played defensive tackle. His younger brother Nathan, who was also shot the night of the killings, also played football. We did reach out to the Bristol Public Schools for a comment on this unique athletic connection. As of news time, we have not heard back. Reporting in Bristol, Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
All right, Matt, thank you. As for the funerals for Officer Hamzy and Sergeant DeMonte, Bristol police said that there will be a huge joint funeral for them Friday at Rentschler Field in East Hartford. It's scheduled to start at 11. And if you want to go to pay your respects, they ask that you get there no later than 9:30 a.m. Bristol Public Schools will be closed on Friday for the funerals. We'll have continuing coverage throughout the week as we honor and remember Sergeant DeMonte and Officer Hamzy. You can find the timeline of the situation and how people around the state are remembering these fallen heroes on fox61.com, the Fox 61 News app, and on Fox 61 Plus.
Well, new tonight, a Bloomfield police officer is recovering after being injured while conducting a traffic stop. Police say that the officer pulled over a car driven by Rafaelito Ares. They say that Ares refused to cooperate and then drove forward with the driver's side door open, hitting the officer with the door. The officer was knocked to the ground and Ares then drove off. He was taken into custody after a brief pursuit into West Hartford. He's now facing multiple charges, including assault, and also has 5 active criminal warrants.
A 10-year-old boy is still recovering this morning after he was attacked by a bear. This happened in Morris on Sunday. According to the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, a black bear attacked the child while he was in his backyard. That boy is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries, and the Environmental Conservation Police have since euthanized that bear.
Town of Westport is now mourning the loss of Staples High School's teachers today. One of them, Michael Sansor, a technology education teacher, died in a car accident on I-95 in Old Lyme Sunday. His son was also critically injured. The superintendent issued a statement saying, in part, quote, Michael was a personal favorite among the school, and his career is marked by his inspiring impact on students. Staples High School offered crisis support to students, staff, and families today.